All righty, got it. And got it. And one more machine says got it. All righty, y'all. It's done here. All righty, y'all. Peaceful greetings, peaceful greetings. Peaceful greetings, Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here at Morocco at northwest of Mexico. Guys, welcome to our impromptu improv. You already know, guys, happy holy degree for those of you that would like to say gracious Venus vibrations, right? On that tip also, guys, I like to welcome you all again to our impromptu improv. This is 7healstar.com, astrology firms, impromptu improv, where you guys just never know what you're going to get. We are going to do a little astrology, but today, after I bring up the astro clock, we will be going into actually asking some simple, basic questions when it comes to declaring and proclaiming our nationality and what it means to, after doing that, being industrious in your own, with your own creative energies. So I would like, without a further ado, introduce a brother that I've met about 7 years ago, right when I'm coming into the information, has been completely nothing but open, honest, consistent. If I call his phone, he'll answer. If he can't answer, he'll text me like, yo, bro, I can't talk right now, but what's up? You know what I mean? And it's very consistent. I've actually learned how to look at things and think about things and making sure I'm questioning myself. Because when I go to call my bro, he'll straight ask me questions and I'll be like, you know what? I ain't think of it like that, right? And he's not really correcting me through direction. He's correcting me to make sure I can see where I can probably make better decisions in the future. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to say, for me, I know he's a grand sheik, all right, at Subordinate Temple number 5, Moor Science Temple of America, Subordinate Temple number 5 at Canaan Land. However, he's here just being my bro today on Impromptu Improv, as always being my bro. Everybody give it up for my brother, Kudjo Adwo L. Yeah!
Islam.
What's going on, bro? Islam.
Peace, Brother Hasan. What's good? What's
Man,
good?
look, I'm so excited about this, bro, because I'm just remembering, like, and shout out to Amazite. I have to call Amazite back, man. I was in the middle of a reading today, right? I was in the middle of, hey, Amazite, I was in the middle of a reading, right? And on the same time, I was on the phone like, yo, bro, I can't talk right now, but you good, y'all. I know y'all did traveling. You all right, you straight, you know what I mean? Because I usually call and check on my bros, right? So, but in the spirit of Amazite, right? I was really like thinking like, Ask a Grand Sheik, you know, the spirit of Ask a Grand Sheik, I think is really great. Man, I know it's a lot going out there, Kudjo, as far as people, when they come across this information, that really, at the end of the day, the reminder comes from Prophet Noble Drought, as far as according to my studies thus far and seeing what you have been sharing also, right? In many different platforms, as far as on Blog Talks, YouTubes, Ustreams. I mean, you're an author. You know what I mean? You're a musician, so to speak, as far as like songwriter. Can I say songwriter, musician, so to speak? Would that be the proper term? I don't want to just boil it down to rapper. You're doing incredible writing. You know what I'm saying? So
we claim all of it.
What'd you say, bro?
Claim it all. We claim it all.
Hold on, let me see if I turn this up. You sound kind of low. What'd you say?
You getting me? Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, that sounds much better.
That's better?
It did for a second. I had to make sure it wasn't the music because, you know, we're playing at Iron Sheik in the background, guys. You can check out the Canaan Land. Like if you go to, I think if you type Canaan Land Moor's Iron Sheik playlist, you'll see the 88 song playlist of some of the music. It's got to be more than just 88 songs that you've made, bro.
Yeah, oh, definitely. That's just all the videos. That's just all the videos.
88 videos, guys. All righty. So, all right. So, bro, we first meet in the flesh. There was a function that Brother Amazite had put together, right? And I mean, I was floored. You were superly down to earth, bro. Actually, without really going too deep into it, you know, officiated something when I got supposed to or whatever. So that was that was like an experience also, right? However, all of that really came from, you know, studying and not rushing head on as far as my studies and anything. And, you know, along the way, you kind of build things as you fly it. So my question is, somebody coming in to this knowledge, right, for the very first time, they're hearing about Prophet Noble Drew Ali, but they're also seeing that people are talking about, you know, you can do this so you can have finances and do these processes of this kind for finances. You, in your experience, after declaring and proclaiming your nationality, what would you suggest to someone who's sincerely looking for, you know, to be consistent in their path after declaring and proclaiming their nationality?
Well, I think, first of all, honors to you. Happy holy day to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, of course.
Yes.
I think the whole thing of declaring and proclaiming their nationality, first thing would be to, you know, look those stuff up to see what they are, you know, especially for, you know, like we say with the quote unquote new people. Because once you rush out and do it without having the background, we already know that, you know, whether it's highwaymen, whether it's the cashier, whether it's whoever, they're gonna test you on what you're claiming. And majority of people fail when they get tested because they didn't do any background work before going out there and doing this proclamation thing. So I would say looking up things, knowing what words mean before you even start talking about, you know, proclaiming and which name am I gonna use? El Bey? Am I gonna just put it on the slave name? Am I gonna get a whole new? Before you even go there, start looking up things, start doing some research, because you're definitely gonna miss some things if you just, you know, dive in the shallow end head first.
Now, what you can, oh, okay. I'll wait for you, bro. I wasn't sure if you was finished your thought or not, so I was waiting.
Oh yeah, I'm straight. Yeah, go ahead.
All righty.
Yeah.
So, all right. So with that being said, also, so that's perfect. Make sure you guys are looking up like different terminology. I know when I first came in to it, you know, I was introduced to I saw some videos online of different people demonstrating, you know, when looking up some things for being Moorish American, things like that. However, also I was also looking at the fact that people were sharing a website. There was a brother that was, you know, near the Boston Corporation. He was sharing a website actually. And the website that he was sharing was rvbaypublications.com. And that is where I actually got to learn actually about the different, you know, informations that are there. It's different documentations, different books, and all types of things. And it's actually, you know, an online school also with, you know, being there's an association or that, you know, as far as Moorish Heritage and History School. And, you know, there's a blog talk radio called Moorish Heritage and History School Eyes Wide Open. And you will get to hear Brother Kudjo, Brother Mizraim, Mother Ross Mariah, Mother Anaida, right, on this panel, guys, all right? And you'll get to actually hear exactly what they're sharing as far as different concepts of nationality. And there's like archives all the way back to, is it 2011? I would say 2012.
As far I just checked the numbers the other day. I think it's like 900 on there right now, 900 and something.
900 episodes, archives, yeah. But all the way back.
The
date 2011, right?
Give or take a year or two. 20, yeah. 2000. Yeah,
2012.
11, 12, somewhere on there.
Yeah, because I remember, around 2011, that's when I was hearing like the videos with the blog talks with like Mother Anaida and Fontaines L, Brother Fontaines L. I think at that time, so it was like 2011 or something, right? So yeah, that's pretty cool. So all right, so now let's say one is, they've declared and proclaimed their nationality, they've well studied, and now they're looking to be industrious, right? What has been your experience in taking on industrial endeavors post declaration and proclamation?
I mean, just like anything else, you're gonna, do your background on what it is you're gonna be industrious in. Just like the in the quote unquote corporate world, the things that are relative to trades are probably more sufficient as far as being able to get something back. Products are there, but with the whole thing of popularity, and if you don't have this name or face or whatever like that, ain't nobody buying your stuff. You probably want to service people. So if you're in any type of trade, if you're in any type of tutoring or providing something that people need. Another big thing is doulas. A lot of people are skeptical about hospital visits and stuff like that now, especially with the stuff that's going on. People would be a lot more inclined to go to a Reiki practitioner opposed to the pills guy, the prescription guy.
Absolutely.
Holistic healers, but like Drew Ali said, the all businesses of all nations fail. So it's not a thing of something might fail or oh my gosh, the support and whatever like that. Do it regardless, whatever it is. Just make sure that it's something that is going to service the people, because there's enough people with products out there. Just like we're saying with people doing this thing, throw the ball to their children, and have them play sports or something like that. There's only 100 jobs in there. So unless you're 6'6" and you're, LeBron coming out of high school, more than likely you're not gonna make it on that level, more than likely. So you might want to have, one or two backup options, if the plumbing thing doesn't work, the electrician thing. If the electricity thing doesn't work, the technology thing. If the technology thing doesn't work, the whatever else. But the field, like Drew Ali said, the field is open to all, and we need everything as far as the Moors are concerned.
Yes.
We need everything. There's no, everything is proper right now. There's things that we need. And one of the things that I notice is that a lot of people get into the information.
That's Brother Benjamin coming in.
They forget. Peace and love, more.
Peace.
Yeah. A lot of people forget what it is that they're blessed in, and want to do something different, because they think, what they were involved in might not be able to do anything for the Moors or whatever. But, if you're 100% skilled in something and then 20% skilled in some other stuff, I would do the 100% thing as far as, your assistance in the movement. I would do the thing that you're mastering first, and then do the other things, later on, or as you evolve, get to those things, but the brainwash, the witchcraft, the magic that they have running on our people is heavy. So you know, get out of your mind the whole idea of, I'm just gonna, oh, I have this brilliant idea, and then people are, you know, a million people are gonna jump on it. It's probably not gonna go like that. And if a million people do jump on it, it's just like with the IG followers or whatever, you know, you got 50,000 people following you and only 20 really are involved on your page. You know what I mean? The other, how much ever 1,000, they're, you know, whenever they feel like it, they get on there. So, you know, but I yield the floor.
No, man, you had no place. I just wanted to bring up an astro clock, man, to let it be known, because I've asked permission. You know, Brother Kudjo is a sun sign Taurus. I'm a sun sign Cancer here. So we're, you know, our ego and personality are 60 degrees apart. And so you have me on the 11th house cusp here, and Brother Kudjo on the 9th. So it's just like there's this just erudite presentation online that's just occurring. So I'm just listening to you as you're speaking, especially with Mercury here at 12 degrees Aquarius. I know the chart kind of looks a little busy, and Aquarius is down here, but I kind of just view a few things as like kind of like a continuous sentence or a paragraph when I look at these things. So we have Virgo on the rise, of course, with Mercury ruling on that from the 6th house exactly. But there's so many other like Arabic points and other different, you know, parts that I'm looking at as I do these kind of charts. So just to see how our communication, the detail that you're going into at this time, you know, Virgo is very detailed, and you're speaking on the services and things that people can provide and what it is that would be paramount. And when, you know, when people are just being active after declaring and proclaiming their nationality, of course. And it's interesting because Mercury in the 6th has accidental dignity, because the 6th sign of the zodiac is Virgo. So I'm just looking at how Brother Kudjo is just giving it off to you guys. If we were to look at, you know, him being Taurus and me Cancer, the moon's here in Capricorn, his Venus there, him being Venus would be in Capricorn. We're just really having that moment where this is interesting too. Like I'm home, but I'm home actually speaking, you know, with a brother that brings out the essentials. However, he's very creative in how he does it. So I'm going to now bring that into the creative artwork. There's Venus again in the 5th house, pertaining to what it is that he does that's essential to the movement. And one thing, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Brother Kudjo, but you were speaking on just now about if you're good at something, right? And, you know, why stop doing it and keep doing it? Now, let's just say your gift that you have in songwriting is what you are contributing to the movement, correct? That's one of your many gifts that you're contributing. You're muted.
Yeah, got you. Yeah.
Islam. So, and on top of that, not only are you writing, you know, the music, all righty, you have had, if I'm not mistaken, there are 6 Iron Sheik presentations, correct?
7 altogether.
7. Okay, so it's 7 altogether. All righty.
7, 1 to 7. Mix CD. The Wisdom of the Womb triple albums, and then collaborative albums, the Audio Mechanics, Mordians, and Hellfire. Yeah.
And what I'll do is, like I said, in post-production, what I'll do is I'll get all the information necessary so I can put it into the description. So any and everybody that sees this, because, you know, we don't really advertise except for the last presentation for Impromptu Improv, because it's supposed to be impromptu. I want it to kind of just be natural off the head. Let me think how I go, but you know my post-prod like promo, bro. You know how I get down. You know what I mean? Right. So ultimately, I'm just kind of just, you know, just thinking of the different things that, you know, people when they're coming to Seven Heel Star, you know, and they really aren't familiar. And you know me, I'm unapologetically Moorish American. Even though I'm taking my place amongst the affairs of men, you know what I mean? And, you know, as far as, you know, astrological communities or different places where, you know, I you know, and being myself, you know, so it's like to have you on here, you know what I mean? And for people to see, because I knew you were going to be chill. They're like, oh, he's a Grand Chief, but he got on a Moabite baseball cap. It's like, not well, at the end of the day, like you when bro does what he does in any form, or you know what I mean, it's always sincere. I gotta admit, it's always genuine, it's always sincere from my perspective of what I see. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people on different platforms may think they know you or have an idea about you. However, me over the years and being consistent, having conversations with you, there's been times where I'd be like, yo, check me. I think I might be off about something, man. Am I wrong about this? And you'll be straight up with me, you know what I mean? And really say some things where I'd be like, dang, I would have never thought of it like that, man. But that you see that like that, and I can tell you're not joshing, you know what I mean? You're not just trying to tell me anything, you know what I mean? So to bring that to the forefront today to show like, hey, man, look, at the end of the day, this is what I see. Bro has the means to really get straight to Taurus. He's fixed on making sure things about bulls is what I see. They charge at you if you show red in their eyes, in front of their eyes, or they'll plow for you. They'll actually, set the path for seed to be planted appropriately. When you think of a bull in that sense, you see what I'm saying? That most people can make reference to intuitively just in a brief, interview on this impromptu improv. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, my question is, now we have Brother Benjamin that just came in, right? Brother Benjamin is, one of the youngest, as far as in the Seven Hill Star, astrology firm. Right. So, Brother Benjamin, are there any questions that you think you may have, you know what I mean, being able to, go off of your experience thus far with what it is as far as you coming across, declaring and proclaiming your nationality based on what Prophet Noble Drew Ali has brought us, because that's the forefront of our mind when we're even thinking about declaring and proclaiming our nationality, or speaking about nationality and birthrights, because he brought the reminder. All right. So my question would be, do you have any questions for Brother Kudjo?
No, I don't. I would just say I just took from Brother Kudjo, always think from within first, be spirit man, and then, react towards your nationality. Because like I would say when I first started, I was like, oh, I need this, like outside things, but internally I wasn't correct. So that's what I would say. He always says, hey, think like divinely first, because we're divine beings, and then try to do your national thing. Like, hey guys, like I learned this about my nationality, like come on, let's go. And then you look back and it's on you. Yeah, understand, like from within, like they aren't like right within. So that's what I would just say. I just learned from him, but I don't have any questions. But I'm just sitting here learning from Brother Kudjo.
It's a lot more.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so now let's get to the authoring. Now, Brother Kudjo, I do have I have 77 amazing facts of the Moors myself. Let me actually get myself up to actually get it. I thought I had it actually closed. This is not cool. I had a 77 amazing facts. Hold on. I think I got it. I think I got it. Is this it? No. Man. I'm trying to see if I had it in my bag and carried it with me. Hold on, Brother Kudjo.
Well, take your time, Moor.
Actually, that's kind of bananas because I knew I just had it. I just had my 77 amazing facts about the Moors, man. But I wanted to speak on that and bring that book up so people could actually see what it looks like. That's bananas, man. I feel so.
Actually, I think I have one. I think I have one close right here. Hold on.
Yeah, man. Can you bring that up, bro? That is bananas. I could have sworn I just had that right here. That's bananas, man. It's probably in this duffel bag, and I just not seeing what it is.
You know how it goes. Sometimes you lose your glasses on your face.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I just wanted to show the cover. Yeah, that's it. Just that. That's all I wanted to show, right? The 77 amazing facts about the Moors, right? And that's one of the books that Brother Kudjo had authored. But are there many more, Brother Kudjo? Because what I'm actually doing is, being kind of like the question of people that don't know, but I know that I know, but at the same time, that's why I'm asking the questions the way I'm asking. That's not the only book. There's What About the Feds? I have that. No, man, I got these books in here, man. I'm about to find them. I'm not, no. I know I got them. No, I got these books.
A forward question on where your book is.
Yeah, I'm not about to. Yeah, all right, here we go. Yeah, I'm not about to do that. I know I got these. That's why I say it's in the other. Yeah, no, bump that. I got my copies. So, yes, 77 amazing facts about the Moors. Okay, I know it's a co-authored project, but I'm just, glorifying my brother at this moment, is bringing the spotlight, and I'm not negating anything else, honestly. But And this one too, who stole the fez? Moors or Shriners, right? So I know I have that also. Should I bring it closer so they can see it?
Proper.
See it.
All right. So this is just a couple, right? And now I know it's more than just these two, correct?
Yeah.
All righty. And the publisher for all your material, music and books is Khalifa Media,
Yeah.
Will of Allah, and is that it, or should I?
Yeah, that's it. That's
okay.
it.
All righty. Okay, so Khalifa Media, Will of Allah, guys, that will be in the description when I go to do the post-production. Okay, and again, let's see if I can bring 77 amazing facts about the Moors. And guys, when you read this, it's such a down-to-earth read that you actually get to kind of feel very comfortable about embracing nationality and birthrights if you're like somebody, because a lot of people are coming from, they might be coming from, you know what I mean, living in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Like they really haven't really been exposed to probably too much, but it's like a wave of information right now that's really taking place. That whole Saturn squaring Uranus thing, like I'll show you right here. It's coming off of it though. It's, Saturn's here. It's already past 11 degrees, 27 minutes, because that's where, Uranus is right now in Taurus. So, a square would be 11 degrees, and some change, obviously 11 degrees, 27 minutes, Aquarius. But just coming off of that, of course, Mercury just coming off of that square and Saturn coming off of that square. It just really speaks to, with this influx and this, sudden change and pouring out of all financial information, people doing processes, want to authenticate documents because they're thinking it'll help them in being able to have some form of digital financing, when it's like at the same time there's just like a reinstitutioning of that also. It's interesting though, because Saturn and Uranus are co-rulers to Aquarius, and by Saturn actually being there in Aquarius, Saturn's a little less of an essentials being there. It's a little bit more of the innovator there. So a lot of things in like different communities right now, the big talk is plutocracy and what happened when there was other so-called quote unquote plutocracy moments and things of that nature. When you're seeing these involvements with Pluto and Neptune or Saturn and Uranus, and it just really just shows when you kind of look at these transits in history, whether there were squares, conjunctions, or oppositions, there were these peaks in Reformation and then a Great Depression or a recession. So that's kind of like these energies right now, right? So, Brother Kudjo, what would be your advice for all people? Because Prophet Noble Drew Ali has a very incredible, really very actually credible, but just in terms of endearment, just amazing statement that was published. I'm a universal prophet and my philosophy is universal. I just came to you Moors first because you needed me the most. How or what would you suggest that people would do with this kind of energy that we just brought to the table, right? So that they can be universal minded in a change or shift in how things are being, done on the planet.
Like you have up there, one of the first things is natal chart. So the individual knowing themselves from that aspect, from that universal aspect, we get like Brother Benjamin was saying, we get caught up in the external. We get people, like many people want to go out and watch the full moon, the red moon, the orange moon, all the moon's beautiful and all that stuff, but they're not using it internally, or there's eclipse and they're not using it internally, or something astrological is happening, something cosmic is happening, and it's always related to did you see the
yeah.
So I think at least for me, doing natal chart, recognizing how divine we are through that, you know, recognizing the power of knowing the time that we came here is relevant. You know, the day that we came here is relevant. You know, where all these planets were when we came on the Earth plane says something to where we're about to go on this journey, this mission called life. You know, and again, going back to the statement that or the quote that you did with Drew Ali being universal. You know, if he's a universal prophet, obviously he studied astrology and things of that nature. You know, if he's universal, you know, if he was a national prophet, then we could say, okay, maybe he didn't do that stuff, you know. But the fact that divine's there before national, the fact that he's a universal prophet, the fact that he said, you know, a lot of his message was for the nations. It wasn't just for us. You know, anybody whose ear was open to him, just like we had in the oral statements, people's ear were open to him and they took their finance out the bank before the crash because of Noble Drew Ali, not because their pastor guy told them or their rabbi or their imam. You know, they however they found out, whether they read the newspaper, whether they knew a Moor who told them, whether they went to the temple meeting, whatever, you know, the idea of the universality of his message is very clear. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, only Moors see it like that. You know, everybody else looks at it from that religious idea. You know, they don't see the divine part of Noble Drew Ali's message. They don't see the divine part of him being sent to us. They don't see the divine part of even with nationality. They don't see the divine in that. They just think nationality and you know, paperwork and ID cards and whatever, not knowing that, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, you show that card to the wrong people, they might, you know, come get you. They might take you just because you're messing around with the energies, not because, you know, they're evil people or whatever, but because of ourself not being right and exact with where we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to be maneuvering with this thing called, you know, our nationality and our birthrights. But you know, so just like we were saying that in the beginning, when people get into this info and they start looking up words and seeing what things mean and all that, you know, parallel to that is making sure you have a natal chart. So let's say you've been studying 5 years and you never did your natal chart yet. All that 5 years probably didn't really mean anything really, because you're off in where you're supposed to be at. Whereas if you did the natal chart, you would know the steps that you're supposed to take to be wherever it is that you're going. If you're just winging it, you know, i.e. not doing the natal chart or, you know, not being put on to it, just like we say with RV Bay Publications. You've been studying 5 years, you never heard of RV Bay Publications yet? You're probably way off. I don't care what you claim you know. If you haven't been there yet, and, you know, if you haven't been to MHHS yet, if you haven't listened to, you know, Sisters Standing on Law yet, you know, if you haven't, you know, got your law dictionaries, etymology dictionaries, etc., then you're probably in for a long road, long, slow, bumpy road or whatever. While, you know, we're the ones who take advantage of the masters, or sitting at the feet of the masters and figuring this out in the right order, in the right mode of operations, they would get a lot further with it. And again, not to say that because you've been studying 5 years and you didn't do a natal chart, that everything's wrong or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? It's not that everything's wrong, but doing the natal chart prior to, say, even nationalizing, doing the natal chart prior, like people have the question of, I want to proclaim my nationality, but I don't know what name I'm supposed to use. Where could I find the name and what? How about you just go and do your natal chart?
Yes, that is definitely, yeah, that in the Vedic, especially in the Vedic, I loved it. And not cutting you with, I'm just adding to it. I noticed in the sidereal astrology, what they call the Jyotisha, right? In the Jyotisha astrology, you can find, based on your Lagna, which is the ascendant, your Lagnish, which is the ascendant ruler, and Chandra, which is the moon, right? You can actually find corresponding sound, or consonanting sounds. Here comes Brother Terrell, Tamari. You can find these consonanting sounds that will actually make up your appellation. I yield the floor. I yield.
Yeah, right. And again, with recognizing that, you know, that's how deep this stuff could go. You know, like it could go that deep. You know, which part of you know, my position with the astrological side of it is to always have an astrologer. You know, I mean, always have somebody who you know is in that realm, that's their realm. You know what I'm saying? So you can go to them and get the little nuances that you might not really pick up on, because it's a different view for an astrologer than somebody who just, you know, willy-nilly with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a different world for an astrologer. You know what I mean? You can go on YouTube and look up how to build something, but a carpenter, they already know. They don't have to go side check and see what to do, where the joint's supposed to go. They don't have to do anything. They already know what's up. You know what I mean? So you're gonna get a broader view of it, and then you're getting it from somebody who is actually adept in that realm. You're definitely gonna find a lot more, or get a lot more out of it, just for the simple fact that you're dealing with somebody who is in that realm, you know.
Yeah, bro. I just wanted to add to that, like for example, you know, I know there's many great astrologers out there. Like I remember, like for me, when it came to as I'm coming up, I'm being introduced by astrological treatises presented by Mother Raya. I'm seeing astrological videos by Mother Salah Bey. Then I'm also seeing astrological videos of Mother Zodiacus L. Yeah. Right. I'm trying to just think of, because it's history, bro. You know me, brother Kudjo. I don't have no problem mentioning appellations, man, because I don't think people actually know how instrumental they were in my studies and my growth and things of that nature. And then by me taking my place amongst the affairs of men and joining different astrological societies, like being a member of 2 different astrological societies, the main and third one that I think is about to actually have a revival is kind of, you know, the one that we see as our own. Like, and I'm just really trusting that in some time really soon that people will be able to really actively be able to call Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs at Shaka Moxon their place where they could actually come and support being, you know, that astrological association. Because right now for myself, I know I'll be going through, you know, Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, I'm gonna leave the European here long enough to teach you government. And just saying that respectfully, you know, because I have complete love and respect for all of us. I know that all Moors are all Moors that manifest through a woman's Stargate. In Clock of Destiny Book 2, I'm clear that Manassas, right before you even get to the introduction, it's clear on letting you know that the lost tribe of Israel is everyone here, pale skin and copper tone. Yep. You know, so we're one mother's breast have given us suck, so technically we're all kinship,
right?
Or if you want to look at it like that. So like when you get past those things, you know, you're able to take your place amongst the affairs of men, learn from, you know, those that are helping you. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, the European is helping me, why aren't you? So now I can go and study these things and then assist my own Moorish community, whichever Moorish community will accept me. And I can take the information and knowledge that I've learned, not only as far as how to run my astrological, our astrological firm even better, but however, help establish our own astrological communities within our Moorish community. Or, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm really going for. If anybody don't, because, I called you straight up. This is an impromptu thing. I called you and it was private, but I'm gonna reveal it because it's my business. I was like, yo, and I called Brother Taj, and I said, Great said Mother Rashida Bey, right? And I'm like, I got offered the scholarship. Like I tried it out, like you said, Mother Rashida, like that's what I told her. But with you, I'm like, yo, like really, like it's not a bad thing. Like I just G-check me because I don't feel like I'm selling out. I feel like this is my mission and what I'm doing. It ain't like somebody handed you some bread. It ain't that. It's like all the stuff that I'm going to uptake though, it's like, man, it can really assist us, bro. If we can really.
One of the things that Moors have to consider too is how other people look at what they do. So for example, I know this mother who's into yoga. Right. So every year she does her pilgrimage, goes to the Himalayas or whatever like that to go learn from the masters because, that's her realm, and you would think that you would go there and then it's all the people there who are on it when it ain't even, they're not even catering to their like all different walks of life. All different type of nationalities are going to the Himalayas to go learn yoga. It's not limited to them things. So Moors have to adopt that too, that, with Juali saying that we're universal, we got to be universal too. That, there might be, like we know that we're Moors, we know that this is our nationality. We're not talking about nationality. We're talking about whatever skills that we have. You know what I mean? If European wants some more to go build something and they got the finance or whatever, then go build the stuff for the European. Ain't no big deal.
Right.
You think look at Mr. Chin with the shrimp fried rice and all that stuff. They're not even eating that. You know what I'm saying? They're catering to everybody else who wants that. Like we were talking about last night. They're not gonna sell themselves the meow wings.
Hey yo. Hey yo. The meow wings.
The meow. Yo, you are.
The meow wings. Oh no.
Oh my God, yo.
I block shots like Yao Ming. I eat meow wings. No, let me stop. Anyway, bars. Let me stop. No.
Wait, what was that video, yo? He was like, what kind of chicken is this? He said,
Yo, stop. Yo. Yo. Oh my God. Well, look, Brother Terrell, since you're here, right? Brother Terrell, he's actually our baby brother. Terrell's actually all of our baby brother, even though him and Corey are like the first two that, that, stood with me in this, doing the astrology stuff. However, Brother Terrell Tamari Bey is very close in his heart. He's, done his due diligence in meeting Prophet Noble Drelly and CM Bey in his literature, man, like to the point where, his stories on Instagram is just a whole lesson sometimes, for real. You can just go to, I'm serious. You can seriously go to Jaguar Soul on Instagram. And I'm telling you, Brother Terrell's like, it sometimes make me go, yikes, you know what I mean? Like, this is amazing. However, Brother Terrell, do you have any questions for Brother Kudjo? Anything, man. It's impromptu improv, you know what I mean? And really, we're just in the vibe of, you know what I mean, when we come into this knowledge and information and just really just, looking for the best giving the best that's in us and looking for the best that's in others, of course. So is there anything that you wanted to, ask, Brother
Man, that's so vast. That's not even like, where would I start? You know what I mean? Shit. Let me see. I have a lot to ask.
Bring something pertinent, you know what I mean? That will help anybody else listening.
Yeah.
You know? Yo, can I play the guitar on one of your tracks? Like something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you feel me? Like, come on. Like
it's so much, yo. Like my mind is going so many places. Like, oh my God, I can't like put it in a box, but let's just say, like, how would you, like, you know, somebody who's fresh meat, you know, they just now heard the words divine national, right? Like,
see, I think he kind of answered that, but I'm gonna let him answer it again though, because I think
you think all right, y'all asked something like this already?
No, not really. It's just like if somebody's just coming into the information, what would your advice be if they're just hearing about nationality and birthrights? But you know,
yeah, y'all asked that already, so I'm not.
Yeah, but I told him we'll sprinkle in at times that because it's impromptu improv. It's not really a set thing, and it's supposed to feel like that. It's supposed to feel like we just walking in. Oh, hey, my man, I know he was in here. What's up? Yeah, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to feel like that. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But no, but seriously.
All right, well, what about the discombobulated cloud chasing? You know, the ones who trying to get people off of the movement, you know, getting people to stay connected to the Negro, Black, and color mindset. Like, how do you feel about those? How do you feel about the turncoats, like the ones that you know was in the movement, right? And now they're like, so I'll give you an example. The ones who love to say, you know, CM Bay said, y'all freeborn master masons and Eastern Stars. And we know obviously these motherfuckers don't read.
Right.
So like what would be your like, what do you think their motive is other than confusion?
It goes back to Noble Drew Ali and when he was dealing with the same stuff back then, and he told all these Moors that they're jealous of the fame and nobility.
Islam.
Because, you know, everybody wants to be the prophet. You know, everybody wants to be the savior of our people or whatever like that. They got the program.
Oh, we need to read
the savior of humanity.
They have the thing that's gonna save the nation, as if Drew Ali didn't do that already.
Islam.
But again, it's, you know, part of it too is, well, the other part of it is also the ignorance of the people not checking what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know majority of us came out of Negro, Black, colored mindsets or whatever the case is. You know, we get to the Moorish mindset and, you know, stuff took off. But then when you get to this place, you know, like we use the example that of when we look at 2009, 2010, say maybe to 2013, 14, like there was only certain people you're getting this info from.
Yeah, I bear witness. That's when I started studying, like 13, 14.
There was 50 different Moors out there telling you that they got something for you. You know what I mean? You were going to get it from Hakeem Bey. You were going to get it from Rosmariah Bey. You're getting it from Taj Tariq Bey. You're getting it from Alim and Kadira Bey. You're getting it from Asir, the Duke of Tears. You might have been getting it from Queen Valera.
Archie, yeah.
Even that Dooley.
Abdullah, Jose Pimenta Bey.
Yeah.
We're talking about people who are
right
in the public, people who are doing classes, people who are doing lectures, people who are, you know what I'm saying? It's not push live people. You're talking about people who there's a lecture getting set up.
Yeah,
it's love.
You're not going online and getting this. You're going to travel across country, go to the lecture like everybody else. You know, you're gonna take your notes, you leave with your book of notes, and then whatever you leave with, then you're gonna go study for the next 3-4 months because what you left with from this lecture, you know, and then you're just waiting for the next lecture, you know, go back with all your questions or whatever the case is, you know. So there's a lot of pop-up people right now who they don't have any credibility. When you ask them, you know, well, so how long you been studying? Oh yeah, I've been studying 5 years or whatever like that. Well, how are you the man? Like, how you got I mean, sashes and buttons and all this type of stuff. You just came yesterday, you know. You also have the thing of the titles. People adopting titles, whether they're adopting Ali, whether they're adopting Grand, whatever. I heard a Moor say they're a prime minister and all this stuff. I mean, you know, certain things doesn't really resonate with the individual, but they put it on themselves, even though it doesn't resonate with them like that. You know what I'm saying? But beyond you know, looking it up to see what it is, how does this apply to this individual? I'm just saying the individual themselves, you know, first time go on the live and they start talking, first 10 minutes, you should already know something's wrong.
Checkmate.
No,
Checkmate.
Automatically, something's wrong with this picture right here.
Yeah, that's great. I feel like that's important that you said that, yo, because if you just put that into perspective. So from 2008 or 2009 to 2013, it wasn't internet like clickbait. I couldn't just go get it like right now. I can just click mine and go type it in like that. So that difference in time, that should give a lot of people a lot of like gratitude to like the universe for real. It's like,
let's not forget the James Watson Bay classes too with Brother Sutton Rock. Those were that was me too. I'm looking at my first year and I get what Jag's asking too, because it's like, yo, I'm coming in, I'm excited about the information I'm hearing. I'm seeing infighting and things maybe, or something that seems like people are just creating, it makes it look like infighting, but they're not really in. They're just somebody who's just contemptuous spirits that they've just probably, you know, come back to or whatever and trying to mess up that which is best for uplifting fallen humanity. Like that's where I hear the question coming from. If I'm getting that correct. Also, you know what I mean, the response to, if I'm correct in what you've given Brother Kudjo, is the fact that even though, you know, there are these different things out there, is that at the end of the day, if you're sincerely looking at that timeline so you can get a grasp of that. You heard another seed planted for clues is that Blog Talk Radio, Moore's Heritage and History School, Eyes Wide Open. Go to rvbaypublications.com, because for me, yes, when it came to websites or things online, C. Freeman L, of course. Yes, I saw some Valera. Yes, I saw some, you know, Moorish Maurice out there near Riverdale. And because I was watching that video from like, what was that, like 9 years ago? But that wasn't like, it didn't really start hitting home, like you saying, Brother Kudjo, until like I really started getting on rvbaypublications.com. And in 3 months after that, the brother was like, yo, like the way you're saying these concepts, you need to look at a video of Brother Taj Bey. And I'm just like, all right. So then once I started looking at those videos, looking at RV Bey Publications, now I'm reading the literature, it almost sounds like as I'm reading the literature, I can hear the voice of the author. So if I'm reading something by Brother Taj, it's almost like, am I reading this book or is he like I'm looking at the words, right? I'm like, why can I hear his voice? I'm reading something by Anna Ida, confused about what is the correcting the IRS, correcting the position of the IRS? Like I can hear her voice.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So I would say like also too, like when it comes to, let's say somebody is inspired to do whatever, I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, but usually before I ever made any moves, I would ask, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kudjo. Of course, you wouldn't know when I asked Brother Taj or ask probably like Mother Delilah or the Siyaha, but I would come to you and ask like, hey, yo, if I make this move, like G check me, can I make this move and do this? And what would you normally say to me when I came to you and asked you something before I bust the move?
Yeah, you most times, go ahead with the move. You know what I mean? It's if you're doing it from the perspective of you checked it and it's the way to go, then you know what I mean? All you're gonna have is people trying to tell you shouldn't be doing that or whatever the case is, and at that, they're irrelevant at that point, because the thing to them is, why aren't they doing it? Why are you critiquing? It's like the post was up earlier with Taj with the the juvenile
be juvenile, not
don't critique. Don't be critiquing stuff if you have nothing to critique. Like, you have nothing to put up against it. What are you talking about?
They shouldn't be critiquing a Hershey wrapper if they know nothing about chocolate.
Chocolate.
Like, hey, yo, that's actually true. Okay.
That's actually real, yeah. So
well, I will say, because for me, I always, first thing I learned when coming into this movement was honor. No matter what you do, just be in honor. Because even when you're looking at the documentation for your nationality and birthrights, you want to make sure you're in honor. You know what I mean? So that was always my thing. And then, you realize when there's a camera there or things is like, you're online, people will think you're being ambitious and things of that nature when you really just realize like, dang, yo, I want to contribute this. Like, my bro rap, you know what I'm saying? And I see what doing, writing books. Like me, I learned about computers and software, and I did audio, visual, but I also drew. I knew how to make puppets and stuff like that. So I was just like, if I look like a clown or I look like I'm being whatever, forget it. I guess, my consistency will show that really I'm just doing this, even to the point where I know I took on being an astrologer, and I got to commend my brothers, because we know if we were to be at some palace, White House or something like that, like at the break when they're going to be like, what's your rate? We're supposed to say $3.30 an hour.
Yeah.
Like that's the standard, but we know in the era and time, and when we close out, I'm gonna close out on Savior of Humanity, because I think it'll be very pertinent with what you just said about the internet and people learning and everything like that, because it starts out in this electrifying age. Mm-hmm. So I really think it would be really awesome to really read Savior of Humanity from the Moorish literature, the excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper, mm-hmm. right? So, but long story short, like before I really did the astrology, to give y'all a little quick history, and even why, having Brother Kudjo here, you see what I'm saying? Because honestly, I think from either afar or different conversations, Kudjo, you've watched my maturation.
Yeah.
You watch me make mistakes. You watch me go, well, look, yo, is this wrong? All right, you watch me go, all right, let me correct that. I appreciate you telling me that. You know what I'm saying? And then I, lace up my shoes and get right. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to, bring that to the forefront first and foremost, because I know when I went to Brother Taj, before that, I was just doing astrology and charts and just taking donations. Yeah. Did 50 charts, 6 donations.
Yeah.
and you was like, yeah, yo, don't cash your pearl before swine or something like that. Yeah, I think. And then Brother Taj is like, servants worthy of his hire. Right? I'm like, all right. Yeah. So let me figure this out where, there's no busting the people's heads or whatever for astrology, but at the same time, not necessarily not respecting my energy and time, because me, myself personally, we like some of us are just, well, actually all 5 of us are technically professional astrologers, but like me and Brother Terrell, we strictly only do, that's what we do full-time is astrology.
But that's what I was saying about earlier too, with the whole idea of not limiting it to Moors. So you have, for example, Moors want astrology. All right, well, show me your nationality card, and you get the whatever rate.
Mm. And then, but hold on, time out. Joe is mentioning something, because only a couple Moors are taking advantage of that. But if you guys check on the website, when I do the mirror session, yes, that's why people like, the mirror session say 153 for 3 hours, but what's this 2-hour thing for 101? And then the other prices look lower than this right there. That's for national.
Right.
That know how to read and show their nationality cards. So I'm glad you, yes. That's why I still show you one price, but the coupon look like to say something with the flyer that look like a coupon, but it's not. But that's really saying this is for nationals.
Right.
But go ahead, I yield.
Yeah, so that just that whole idea of, you know, because you know, we don't want to be the leeches or the scavengers or whatever like that of our people. You know what I mean? So yeah, you might, you know, shortchange yourself or whatever the case is, you know, but I always go back to Taj Street Bay and Ras Mariah Bay with regard to, you know, the whole servant is worthy of his hire. Taj Street Bay, because the amount of stuff that he did for us that you know, other Moors who we tried to get stuff, they're telling you 5,000 or whatever the case is like that, you know. And then with Raz, the whole thing of, you know, you order one thing from them and you're getting a box of stuff.
Yes.
Just when you order one thing. You know what I mean? Like that, if that's not sincerity and generosity and all that stuff, then, you know, then we're in the wrong business. But, you know, the fact that that's a standard that was set. So when we look at it as, well, I don't want to shortchange, and, you know, the price might be too high for the people or whatever like that. Yeah, for those particular ones, but there's people who are going to pay the 300, no problem. They're not going to ask any questions.
Islam.
You know what I mean? There's people who's going to pay the 300 and then give you other 2 just because.
Right.
Just because they can. You know what I'm saying? Which is supposed to, you know, that's the sort of balancing out of it, that, okay, well, you know, like we just got a donation from somebody. We just got a donation of 1,600. Just because, you know what I mean? Just because we're who we are, they said, here's a donation.
That's love.
They're not sitting there, you know, every class. They're not, you know what I mean, you know, at the temple or anything like that. They're not, but, you know, you have individuals who they're gonna put out because they know what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? So to go back again to the thing of cutting yourself short, you know, it's gonna balance back out. It's gonna catch up. You know what I mean? Even if we're gonna take the, you know, chapter 25 and look out for the brother and be on the phone with people for 8 hours, even though.
Hey, Kudjo, stop telling on me, man. Stop telling on me, man.
Even if they're not gonna hit you off or whatever like that, you know, it's gonna come back somehow. You know what I mean? It might be your, you know, you got your short 10 cents at the store and the dude says, oh, it's all right, or whatever, you know what I mean?
I bear witness. witness. I'm telling you, there's been times I go somewhere and I forget my card and I be like, oh man, I just need this water. Look, man, I'll walk back, man. Let me go get my card, man. Give me like a half an hour, I'll be right back. No, brother, it's fine, brother. You thirsty. I know you come back. What?
And it's always them. It's always them too.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta admit. I'll be on Sons and Daughters, you know, the modern European. I have no issues. The people from Nepal, people from Hindustan. I mean, it's like, as long as you give common respect. Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the prophet.
Yeah.
I'm going to paraphrase a portion of a full quote. Speak in an intelligent tone so that you may be rendered a favorable reply.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it really is your universal principle. Like, man, when you really meet Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature, I guess what it takes is to really do your own kind of like I say it like this, because here in the Baltimore Corporation, Maryland State Republic, they look at more science as a jail or religion. So in my head, I always thought these last, 6-7 years, like instead of me having to be forced to do a bit, and now I'm getting into more science, why don't I just force myself in my freedom, right, so to speak, you know what I mean, and do it now.
Yeah.
What'd you say, bro? What'd you say, bro? I missed it.
No, I said the little freedom that we got.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, instead of somebody, you know what I mean, letting me know when I gotta get up 3 hots in a cot and all that, like, nah, man, I can do that, like, here, by myself, discipline myself without somebody, you know what I mean, having to be over me to do so or whatever. And so I hope I can transition now into, you know what I mean, segue, because I know, Brother Kudjo, you probably a little short on time at this moment, because I know you said you had a few.
We're straight.
So I just wanted to actually just get into, because we know it's a lot of, in this electrifying age of the internet, it's a lot of people sharing a lot of things. Of course, they're expressing their first Bill of Right and their fourth Bill of Right. You know what I mean? They're just speeching and pressing, you know what I mean? They just want to be secure in their purchase, houses, papers, and effects. And that's not being knocked at all in any way, shape, or form. However, like the phi cycle, you know what I mean? It's interesting. It's like the mathematic game that, people would do, like math teachers in school would get you to comprehend phi, in the sense, like, even though we know phi can be measured 1.618 or 0.618 when you're talking phi. But the way that people would describe it, like I remember like geometry teachers and algebra teachers, they would have us stand up and we'll be at the end of a room and say it's like 20 feet to the next wall, right? But for them to get us to, physically, to take it out of the abstract and put it into the physical, right? They would say, okay, it's from here to that wall is 20 feet. Now you got to get to that wall, but you can only get to that wall by moving in half the amount from where you are. So if it's 20 feet away, move 10 feet and stop. All right, now you're 10 feet away, now move 5 feet, stop. In theory, you'll never touch that wall.
Yeah.
Because you're only moving half the distance from the point where you stop, and that's to be able to comprehend the phi cycle, right? Or what some term, the physical. So I'm just really looking at, that's what it is that we're looking to do. We're looking to get that phi cycle so close where it almost just looks like it's just straight energy moving, and that's really where we want to be, instead of just kind of like a loose, wide, and large bandwidth wave that's not concentrated or laser focused, so to speak, when it comes to us actually taking our place amongst the affairs of minds. So that means, with that being said, what we're doing, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brother Kudjo, because that's the position I'm playing at this moment, so to speak, or taking for people that may not know. When we're coming into more science, from what you're saying, hey man, look things up. You know what I mean? Go and study. You know what I mean? I know for us, we'll just say, based off of what we have learned from Brother Taj and other books, Book of Ruth, first lesson. Second lesson is, the Mother Father Principle, which is highlighted in the Microprosopis video of Brother Taj Bey, and then the etymology principle, right? So it doesn't seem like, I'm not speaking to speak over people's heads, but that's usually like the core foundational trinity that we get, so that we make sure we don't get lied to. Somebody speaks to us, put a document in our face. Now we know how to analyze it before saying yes or no.
Yeah. But like you're saying, that has to do with the individual recognizing that this is theirs, this is your stuff, right? Drew Ali said, take this, save yourself. You didn't go say save all these people over here. He said save yourself. The plane's going down and oxygen starts dropping out the stuff. You're not gonna be putting on everybody else's mask before yours.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to check yourself first. You know what I mean? You have to make sure that you're right and exact before everybody else is right and exact. You know what I mean? So, with what you're saying, that whole thing with not having the chaos, having it as a smooth transition is based on what we were talking about earlier. You do the natal chart, find out where you stand in the grand scheme. Then in the grand scheme, now break down, if if I want to, you know, for example, when I found out that the moon has an effect in who I am, not just the sun.
Right.
I mean, everybody's telling you, oh yeah, well, your son is who you are or whatever, but then why am I so whatever? Why am I so this and that? Why am I, oh, and then you check out all these other parts of the chart, you realize that, damn, I really don't know myself like that.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought I knew myself because, you know, I got a degree and, you know, my mom's name is, and my dad's name is, and my granddad is whoever like that. But well, okay, well, what about the astrological aspects of your grand, your, you know what I mean, your esoteric, your cosmic relationships, you know what I mean, the relationships that you have with all these planets, you know, how do these things affect you, you know, all that is the whole thing with, you know, above the door, you know, the know thyself, that once you know thyself, then you could start doing whatever. But, you know, again, we're in this microwave place with regard to knowledge, that people just want to sit in the chair, plug the thing in your head, and then, oh, I know jujitsu. And you go out there with the jujitsu, and then you have to do with Morpheus or whatever, you kick your ass or whatever. You that you know something, right?
Yeah.
You know, you have to embrace this idea of know thyself is going to take time. Yes, we want some stuff tomorrow, but you probably want to, you know, slow down a bit, and you probably want to put some time into knowing who it is you really are. You know, knowing who you are, balancing yourself, especially knowing that, you know, there's childhood trauma, there's generational curses, there's, you know, I mean, all these things that have an impact on our life that we don't, until we got to more science, we didn't really consider certain stuff. We didn't really consider that, my uncle rubbing me on my knee when I was 4 years old while I'm on his lap, and you know, feeling keys poke me in my you know, thigh and stuff like that, have an effect on me right now that I'm adult. You know what I'm saying? And anybody who rubs on me wrong, I'm feeling funny or whatever like that. You know, that's some childhood stuff you got to deal with before you start talking about I'm a Moor and proclaiming your nationality or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Certain relationships that we had with people in our lives who, you know, they're supposed to love us and care about us and all that stuff. You realize that they actually didn't really care about your ass.
I bear witness.
You've been neglected or something like that. You gotta check those things before you start putting down papers and all that stuff, because all that stuff is gonna come back to get you eventually if you don't check it. You know, if you don't really analyze it for what it is, not from the emotional perspective, not from, you know what I mean, but how is it that these situations that happen in my life are affecting me, and then how you can use all these different lessons that we get, the metaphysical lessons, the astrological lessons, or whatever, to fix yourself, because the shrink guy is not going to help you. Don't go to him. Don't go to that guy. Don't go to the rapist. Don't go to the rapist called the therapist.
Oh shit, yo.
Because I mean, therapist is the and rapist, like that. It does
don't go to him.
Yo.
Right?
Yo.
Go to yourself. Go to yourself.
Go within, actually, like, and you know, I'm not plugging us as much as I, you know, but I am sort of, you know, that's, you know, the protocol, because we are expressing ourselves through our own papers. So before even joining any astrological societies or whatever, or you know, astrological associations, being member to them or whatever, of course, wherever you go, like, I will never forget this. Mother Ross Mariah says, you go somewhere, you're a Moor. When you come out of it, you're a Moor still also. So it's like, but with astrological associations, it's really not. first of all, everybody's doing most stuff online, so it ain't even that complicated, honestly. But I mean, however, you know, that's why my main thing that I've always provided when doing astrology is the mirror session, because I had seen that when I had did it on myself, and I even practiced it with other astrologers that have been studying years before me, and they admit, they was like, I would have never have thought to practice that way, right? I would have, and so now these are astrologers that have been doing astrology before me, but now that I do my protocol of mirror session, now they're like, I would have never, it's so, I feel like a weight's off my shoulder. I've never looked at astrology in that way. And it's like, that's cool, that's fine. But, you know, maybe just, I was just supposed to have that portion because of the fact of me reading Prophet Noble Drew Ali literature and CM Bey literature. And the thing that stuck out was, man, know thyself and thy father God Allah. Man, know thyself. And for me, father is the process which mother chooses. God is to call upon. Allah is all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac. So I'm looking at that and I'm just like, all right, how can the people read it? You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, how do you make them the therapist? And that's what the mirror session is. Even when I'm giving the mirror session, I'm saying, not only are you on the couch, you're the one with the pen and the pad.
Right.
I'm just guiding you through how you are to read yourself.
Yeah.
Also, along with being able to know how to identify the glyphs. I can take somebody who completely knows nothing as far as reading astrology, but they have a sincere interest. Yeah. Then I mean, I can show you I can show you to read your own chart in less than 3 hours. Just like anybody who's sincerely interested in music, I don't have to have an instrument in front of me. If I just got a pen and a piece of paper, I can teach you music theory in 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Because really it's all about the principle and what you're going to apply. Well, not apply, but the principle and what you're going to actually execute. Because what you're doing is you're killing off the lower self tendencies of self-hate. Because that's what you're learning. You're learning to love instead of hate. So that means that you're learning to love instead of hate. That means that you're born in, you know, hate. It's like a lotus flower. The hate is the mud. Learning to love is you growing out of the mud, and now you're this beautiful lotus flower. You know what I mean? So I think one of the most effective things is people knowing and learning how to read themselves. I'm just agreeing with you on that, Brother Kudjo. I yield on that. If anybody had any other questions, comments, and or suggestions, you can get them on out, and I'm gonna go right into Savior of Humanity for the sake of in this electrifying age. Yes, we see people that are taking what they know about Prophet Noble Drew Ali and they just extracting by just become a sovereign and get this package, you know, secure party this and crediting that or whatever. And we're not knocking the principles that underlie those things. I just think there's an order and a place where they would probably be much better expressed for the collective. Yeah. And brother Kudjo, according to the administrative functions, would I be proper in saying in my heart of hearts how I see you, and you can agree or and I can be corrected in the moment, that you would be, even though you're Grand Sheik at Subordinate Temple number 5 at Canaan Land, right? Would you say in the spirit in which you're being vigilant online when you see these things like Brother Terrell had asked about, would you say the position that you're taking would be like Sergeant at Arms? Because you're like checking things at the door for those that have an administrative function. Would you say that that's like where you're at? Yeah. I know it's beyond that. There's many other fezzes, but that's what I really see. Am I wrong or right?
Well, I mean, you know, to a degree, but I would even go, I don't know if it's above or beyond that, but even to the point of executioner with regard to certain things, because, you know, I realize the damage that's being done because I'm getting the calls of the people crying because they lost their house or whatever. I'm getting the calls of the people lost their car. I'm getting the calls of the people, you know, their children got taken because some guy gave them papers and they said, well, I'm the sovereign, here's my papers, and they still took your stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, and they paid, you know, 300, 800, 5,000, 20,000 or whatever for it. And now they can't get a hold of these people or whatever like that, you know? So it's you know, I don't have any remorse for a certain level of activity when it comes to Moors who go to those places. You know what I mean? There's no repent and all that stuff. You know what I mean? There's no reform. You know, you violated, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? You go over there, sit in the corner, go lay on the tax or whatever it is that you're supposed to do.
Go lay on the tax.
Right?
Yo.
Because
that bit of nails over there. No, I'm listening.
You know, it's because we can't physically do it. You know what I mean? Because we already know their mom's gonna go call the highwaymen or whatever like that on Moors when Moors start kidnapping people and getting them out of here. Somebody's gonna snitch. So opposed to set myself up to have to deal with them, we just put everybody on blast as soon as they start talking crazy. You know, off the top, just because, you know what I'm saying? It's not, we can't go out and do something. If you violate in some Asiatic nationality, you commit treason, they're gonna have their people come check you, and they're gonna bring you to the wall or whatever like that, and that's that. You know, you go to some Iran, whatever like that, you know, they're gonna put you in the hole with your head out, and then they're gonna give the whole community stones. And that's just what it is. It's not nothing personal against the individual, but you don't violate when it comes to certain places. So when we have people with we bring up Noble Drew Ali, and then you have all these fake pages out here coming in the chat talking crazy and making videos and have Noble Drew Ali's mouth talking, and then he's saying BS or whatever like that.
Are you serious? They got a video with Noble Drew Ali's mouth moving?
Oh yeah. Yes. They go hard. They go hard.
They do the stupidest shit ever.
Pardon me, y'all. I'm sorry. I must have just kind of I had a moment just now. You know, Kudjo, you gotta know, bro. I like always being up and happy, yo. But that right there, I don't know. That kind of feels a certain kind of way, bro. Like, I don't know how.
But again,
like what?
It's because of them. You know, it's because it's an open field, because these people don't get the scimitar to their neck.
Right. Exactly.
They talk crazy. Exactly. You go talk crazy about Muhammad to a Muslim, see what happens. You go talk crazy to Abbot Yen at the whatever, see what the monks and stuff like that's gonna do to you. You're not gonna talk crazy about the Abbot. It ain't happening, because people already know that if they talk crazy, what's gonna go down. But even though the Moors are the biggest secret, it's also like the biggest joke, because everybody knows what's up, and then nobody's telling. And then if they do tell, they're not telling it right. And then the ones who are telling it right, they're looked at like, don't listen to them, because they're sovereign citizens and all this stuff. And it's Moors talking like that. And they're domestic terrorists, and then it's Moors talking like that. It ain't some modern European talking like that. It's Moors talking like that, So yeah, it's sergeant of arms, executioner, warden, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like that's just the position, because being in the realm of the Negro, black, colored, I know, brothers who today, we're chilling on the block. Tomorrow he's making some guy strip. That's his boy. You know what I mean? We know brothers on the block who got murdered by brothers from the same block.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Those are treasonous activities.
Indeed.
Those are, and that was in the Negro, black, colored stuff. So when we get into this, right, and we say, we're a nation and whatever like that, and then you're seeing in the nation that, hold on a second, there's some fraudulent activity going on in the nation.
Correct.
There's criminal activity going on in the nation, and it's going on by individuals who are supposed to be part of the nation. So if they're if they're going against the nation and stuff, then that means they're not really for the nation. And if they're not for the nation, you know, going back to Drew Ali, and then just take off the turban and fez and go back to the nigger state. You don't gotta try to make this something. You know what I mean? Just go back to being nigger. You don't gotta talk crazy about Moors, lie on Noble Drew Ali, call him different names and all that stuff. Oh no, he wasn't born in Carolina, he was born in Virginia and whatever like that. You don't gotta do all that stuff. You know, if you have no faith in it, just put the stuff down, go back to doing whatever it is that you're doing.
And it's, I don't mean to cut your wisdom, Brother Kudjo, but once you said that, it made me think about, I know it's in the oral statements and prophecies, I'm paraphrasing, but I know he said something like, it would have been better off if you never even...
Yeah, got involved. Yeah.
It'd have been better if you'd have never put your hand to the gospel plow. Like that.
Yo. Yeah.
Been better off not getting involved, you know, and that goes for the people. Like we said, we know people who they were in this for, you know, they were in our temple for 5-6 years and then turned around and now they're package seller. Now they're, you know, African, whatever. Now they're, you know,
demarcation lines and shit, Ethiopians and whatnot.
Hey, yo,
you got all this. Now, how you get all this and turn around? But then, you know, again, that's the prophecy. Drew Ali said, yeah, you know, your own is going to put you back in slavery, you know?
Yeah, it's well,
oh, and
Drew Ali is, go ahead, what you say?
Yeah, one more thing too, that and we're apologetic and sorry and empathize and sympathize with the newly awakened Moors having to go through all this BS that we didn't have to go through, that we didn't even know what dirty Moors were, only in the literature. Nobody talking about it. Like there was no dirty Moors in like 2008, 2009, 2000, like there was no dirty Moors like that. You know what I mean? Majority of people who are putting out information, they were right and exact, righteous, you know what I mean? Sincere, you know, they were absolutely on the high road with regard to this info. And then something happened, 2013, 14, 15, stuff just started, you know, going as far as the learning curve, you know, it got away from sitting at the feet of the masters, and then it got to, well, anybody could be a master. Well, not really. That's not really how it goes. It doesn't really go like that. Just because you got a fez on or a turban on with a jewel on it, that means that they know what they're talking about.
Islam.
Mother Rashida was just saying that today too, man. Like again, shout out to the Sierra, Grace Hill, Mother Rashida Bey. Like she was saying the same thing. I was like, but I mean, we're technically like, we're all born masters, you know. But she was like, yeah, but no, Hassan.
Yeah.
We all have that potential, but Hassan, everybody's not gonna actually make it. And that we all have the potential, but not everybody's gonna really make it like that. Yeah. They're not gonna develop it like that.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
So,
actualizing it. Yeah. Making it a thing is two different things. Yeah. It's in us. Everybody has it embedded.
Everybody has it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's just
exercising the strength. Noble Drawling would say, exercise your strength of thinking.
Yeah. You know, it's just like when we look at the you know, the ball analogy. You know, everybody could put up 10,000 shots if they want to. You know what I mean? But do they have the drive to really do that? You know what I mean? Are they really gonna be at the gym before everybody else?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Already drenched when everybody shows up.
Stop, yo.
You know,
but
only few.
That's what it takes. It takes that same kind of heart when you want to hoop or you want to spit and be on stage and perform. You got to show up the same way, bro.
Same thing. Same thing with this. You're not gonna just get this off the truck. Like it's not.
You know, do a couple free shows.
Yeah. you gotta pay those dues. You know what I mean? And the dues isn't finance. You know what I mean? You gotta pay those dues. You gotta go to your meetings. You gotta read the literature. You gotta, be able to say, oh yeah, well, here's my number, Moor, give me a call or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to make the call. You're gonna have to answer. You know what I'm saying? Certain things just come with the territory.
Indeed.
But again, we know that like Drew Ali said, there's only gonna be a handful saved. Many are called, chosen are few. You know what I mean? And one of the Moors, Brother X was saying about who the cap fit won't wear it.
Mm.
Wow.
That's that Bob Marley, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, Brother Kudjo, let's say, people are watching this, and because we're going to go all over the place with promoting and taking clips of the video and stuff like that or whatever, of different key things you're saying and promoting, whether TikTok, Instagram. We're going to do that. Even though my Instagram, I guess we was going too hard last night, because now Instagram got that little, try again, and it's making the screen fade. It's like, oh, is that the little Instagram bug thingy that they're talking about or whatever? It's like, man, we must be going too hard. But, it's like, at the end of the day, I'm looking at it like, to make my point of what you was just speaking on, like, I really enjoy the fact that there's a consistency, though, that's been stable since 2013, 2014, because that's when I think 2014 was when I was thinking like, all right, let me fill out my paperwork, and I messed up like twice in a row. I didn't get it right to the third time, right? And that's what made me realize, like, I really need, even though I think I'm reading, I really need to read. And that's why I just turned into like this super bookworm, so to speak, quote unquote, just colloquially speaking. However, I think that consistency is there because the only thing that can be consistent is sincerity. Mm-hmm. And yes, and we're apologetic, as you said, to new Moors coming in, and even those that were before us, due to the fact that, not even comprehending maybe the stress that a lot of elders that we learned from may have been through, and damn near, like you said before, they've gone nearly broke to provide things for us to be able to do these things. And so that's why even in terms of honor and recognizing, because I'm not, naive. I just always was like, all right, if I bust this move, man, how it's going to look? And you already, said that earlier, it's like a matter of, you got to look at how people want to look at when you're going out there amongst the affairs of men or whatever. So, just make sure if you're standing on principle, you're more American at your foundation, then you're going to be treating everybody else as if Prophet Noble Ali is observing you, interacting with other people, so to speak, as if he was on the scene in the temple. And you're going to be like that if he's not around, because you really do comprehend it's not just a 5-cycle plane, it's 2 other planes, the astral plane, which we look at or term the plane of soul in chapter 1 of the Quran, and then you got the spirit plane, which is the causal plane, right? It depends on how you look at it. I know I'm giving it in terms of the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita, if I'm not mistaken, refers to the causal, spiritual plane, that's causal, the soul plane is astral, and then the material plane, the 5-cycle plane, the physical plane. And when I just think for me, once you really comprehend and get a taste of really always doing the high road thinking, you kind of get to a point where you're like, yeah, I don't want to be without Prophet Noble Ali at the forefront of my mind, because you kind of realize like everything else, it just felt like the void wasn't being filled. The only thing that felt like it filled the void in my life, really, honestly, is meeting Prophet Noble Ali in his literature. Yes, I've been in the Nation of Islam, Muhammad's Temple of Islam, #1. Yes, I've been to New Psalmist Baptist Church, got baptized to get the physical baptism, to comprehend the metaphysical one I already was comprehending, to kind of get that whole, pool of Bethesda type thing, right? But even then after that, now I declare to proclaim my nationality, because in my head, I'm going through dismal crypts, because I'm doing something obviously within myself where it's like, oh, all right, this makes me feel better as a being. I really wouldn't find any like solace in chasing the bag to try to keep up with the Joneses in that sense. I felt like I had something to accomplish. I had to, make sure, you know, my own hands was making things, and then I'm earning from being industrious that way. That's the only thing I ever really felt comfort in. However, I wanted to say I will be, you know, transitioning to the savior of humanity, because that's really what we're speaking on. At the end of the day, we're all here with Moorish American, because the savior of humanity in these days and times being Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Alrighty, as far as doing the religious corporate activity per affidavit. However, let's just say free national appellation, I've seen it written as both El Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali and Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali. However, he's doing religious corporate activity. I'm open for correction, Brother Kudjo. He's doing religious corporate activity being Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Islam.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. So with that being said, cross-referencing savior of humanity, right? With this and what we're saying and speaking on everything. In this electrified age, men are racing. Men are racing. It's funny, electrified age, right? Taurus is on the cusp of the 9th house, right? So that's higher learning, erudition, right? Uranus, which rules electrified age, right? Right, co-ruling that in Saturn, right? So that's the 8th house, dealing with inheritance, and that's what we're speaking about technically, because the 8th house, most people are like, oh, it's the house of death, and you don't, if the sun or moon's there, you don't ask for a raise, just wait. However, the 8th house is the 2nd house, or the financial house, to the relationship, which is the 7th house, right? So if the 8th is the 2nd to the 7th, then that means that Uranus is bringing about a electrifying benefit, alrighty, to how we're relating to one another in the public, because this is above the horizon. Alrighty, so savior of humanity, in this electrified age, men are racing into this life without complete knowledge. Men are racing into this life without complete knowledge of where they are going or what the end will be, when riches seem to be their only pursuit.
Oh, you want to screen share?
You want it? You can do it so you can screen share, or you want? Oh no, you saying you want me to, or you already got one ready? You got one ready?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, so let me give me one moment. I'm gonna stop the screen share here on the chart. If you want me to bring you guys, hold on, let me bring you guys in too. Let me spotlight you guys. Hold on, let me see who is the host. Let me make me the host again. Dang. Am I the host yet? I'm not a host yet. All right, let me see. Bring Brother Benjamin in. Let's see. That still didn't work. Oh yeah, okay. Did I hit okay? I thought I hit okay. Okay, now so all right. Let's see. All right, let's add spotlight. There's Brother Benjamin. Brother Terrell, when you turn your computer, your screen back on, I'll be able to spotlight you also. All right. As you bring that up.
I might share my screen now.
All right. Oh, hold on. Let me try to grab you real quick before you go. Oh, I missed you. But no, I didn't. Maybe I did. Did I? I might have. Yeah, I missed you. All right, so that's cool. Excellent.
Yeah. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, yes, but we see the use of astrology.
Oh, where is it?
Get that charger player.
Savior of humanity. Yay. Text messages. Yo. You just wanted us to see. You just wanted us to see your history. So let me stop. Let me stop.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, the animals earlier, yeah.
Where is it?
It's the one, yeah, savior.
All right, here we go. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so yeah, you can bring that. You might want to. Can you landscape? You might need a charge too.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Just saying. Yeah, just saying.
You see that red bar right there?
Like more back, like finisher. It's like
This is my brother's keeper. I'm gonna read from the book, but Brother Jagger have you guys scroll so you guys can see what it is I'm reading. I'll start from the top. Savior of Humanity, and I'm reading from Moorish literature for the Moorish Science Temple of America. All right, it on this cover particularly says, comma, INC, but I'm not getting into that. I'm getting into the substance. I'm getting into that. This is excerpts from the Moorish, from the Moorish Guide newspaper. All righty, and in lieu of what Brother Kudjo is bringing. As always, you know what I mean? And for Uranus to be in Taurus, so it's like Brother Kudjo's all over the internet, really strong, you know what I mean? Just like right now, that's kind of that energy or whatever, right? If you wanted to like paint it like that. However, Savior of Humanity, because that's what we're all speaking about, right? And we are humanity, and we're all declared and proclaimed nationals here. So obviously we have encountered this Savior pertaining to humanity. And I read, in this electrified age, men are racing into this life without complete knowledge of where they are going or what the end will be. When riches seem to be their only pursuit, to be obtained anyway and at any cost. When selfishness, avarice, greed, and lust dominate their very being. When humanity in general is left at the mercy of those who have no mercy in them. It is truly wonderful and astounding to see one come into this mad human drama for the sole purpose of saving humanity. Losing all sight on those things worldly, and yielding absolutely to a cause higher. Yielding absolutely to a cause higher than has ever yet been attained. This picture is the likeness of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who is serving humanity, right? Remember the other night, Brother Kudjo, we was live, and the brother was like, how somebody gonna imitate the prophet? And we was like, let's look up the etymology of imitate, and basically the etymology, the denotively imitate, verb to copy.
Yeah.
So you can copy, correct me if I'm wrong, Brother Kudjo, you can copy Prophet Noble Drew Ali without saying you're Prophet Noble Drew Ali 5011 reincarnated, correct?
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm not being mean or rude. I'm not being mean or rude, all righty? I'm not being mean or rude to anyone who subscribes to reincarnated prophets and stuff. I'm not being mean. I go within with the literature. I'm not under somebody. I wanted to meet the prophet for myself to make sure before I take my place amongst the affairs of men by linking up with other Moors. You know what I mean? Like that. I want to make sure I'm right first. So that when I come amongst other Moors and anything happen, I'm actually on principle in my heart, in my mind first. So if something that is done that I don't agree with, you know, I can speak on it or remove myself from that venue. Islam, and continuing. Coming as he does with a message for the nations in somewhat the same manner as did Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, and other prophets of their day. Only the teachings of this prophet's day differ from the ills of the days of the past. And yet the remedy for the ills of today is about the same as the remedies for the days past. All turning about the pivot, love for humanity. Humanity must be lifted from the unwholesome depths of poverty. So there you go. You guys don't have to be poor, but you don't have to, you know, bust people's heads and stuff, selling packages and things like find something that's, you know, is a even balance or whatever, you know what I mean? Where everyone's comfortable or something. It's always a negotiation, right? So you don't have to, you know, be in poverty. Humanity must be lifted from the unwholesome depths of poverty, misery, and suffering and placed on the solid rock of salvation. There are some who claim to do this, but upon investigation, one finds that they have slouched under the wings of their cross to extract from those who come to them means by which they can have the pleasures of this life, while they point their followers to joy after death.
And that's all that, 99 virgins and all that stuff after you leave here.
I got that. Okay, I got that. Yes, I got that. Wow. I was also looking at that, I guess, at another, if I can just add to that wisdom, Brother Kudjo, I was looking at it as like, you're supposed to have this joy after what the death was the fact, it reminds me of chapter 1, like the creation and fall of man, just to gratify your lower self. Since you made the decision to gratify your lower self, it's like, that's what the actual death was, the giving up or the decision making, because it's not in the action, it's in the deed. I mean, it's not in the deed, it's in the thought. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking that too, but yeah, I see those both being feasible, and I'm pretty sure there's many other angles that can be shared with us also. While they, quote, feed their sheep, end quote, they also shear them while eating. At the close of their day, the master will be heard to tell them, quote, you have your reward, get thee hence, end quote. Rare.
Just quickly on that. So that's the whole aspect with, they charge you your papers, and then you didn't get anything out of it. And then when you go back to them and say, well, how come this and how come that or whatever, they tell you that servant is worthy of his hire, and you paid for a service and all that. You know what I mean? When you didn't pay for a service, you actually paid for some nationality papers that's supposed to be getting you out or whatever, or you paid for a writ, or you paid for some type of process that's supposed to save you and it didn't save you. You got your reward. You got the papers. You got the thing that we sold you. Now get the hell out of here. We already gave you what it is that you deserve, when you should have been studying for yourself.
You can bring it back, bro, if you want. Yeah, you can bring it back. Islam, Brother Kudjo.
Islam, man.
Rare. Okay, I'll wait for you, beloved. Brother Terrell had shared this with us, and I was like, yeah, man, let's compare this to what I got in my hand. When I saw that joint say temple tax, I was like, I don't see that in my Moorish literature. Is that something that's been like, of course, this is a PDF, so it's new, but Brother Kudjo, do you recall saying anything about temple tax in Moorish literature? Am I unaware of it? Because I don't see it in what I got from RV Bay Publications, but they say something about temple tax in this one. I'm just saying, have you ever seen that, or that's something new?
Yeah, no, I seen it. It's right there too.
All righty. So let me see. Is it in what we get from? Hold on, let me see. Because I must don't have. That's why we get different ones to just compare to see. Because I haven't seen the temple tax one in this one here. Because I saw something about dues though, but not the temple tax. So that's fine. All right. In continuing, rare. That's where we at. Rare. Rare is it that you find a real prophet whose mission is the salvation of the nations. The land is full of false prophets whose mission is to fleece the people. The time wasn't now. Pardon me, go ahead.
Another thing too, that don't forget that the whole idea of being fleeced as far as the people is because they're sheep. Stop being sheep. Stop being unqualified. Qualify yourself so that way these people can't fleece you. Because if people knew what was up, they wouldn't be able to get played. I yield.
The time was and now is that there should come into the land a prophet in the likeness of his brothers, to redeem them from sin and slavery, right? And for me, in Moorish Latin, sin is without, seen is without. So a lot of times when I see sin, I'd be like, wow, save them from without and slavery, Truly, this prophet Noble Drew Ali is the man, bringing with him
Pros on mine or just him? Is he frozen to you guys, or is it just mine device?
He's froze.
Yeah, he's frozen on my end, but it may be my device. So he froze to you.
Yeah, screen. One of the screens is black.
Can't hear you anymore either, son, if you're talking.
We can't hear him, but we could get it done.
Yeah.
The time was and now is that there should come into the land a prophet in the likeness of his brothers, to redeem them from sin and slavery. Truly, this prophet Noble Drew Ali is the man, bringing with him the message of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, which alone can save the nations. Like the coming of Jesus, he does not come from the elect or the rich or the mighty in worldly power, but all power is given unto him to do good. This power is from Allah. And again, according to my studies, because I'm an astrologer, I see Allah. I know we have many different angles that we see it. In my heart of hearts, it's like all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac. Like seriously, it's like, this is how it's going down. But Allah, yes. All right, yes. And there's many different angles, to many of these, things that we're seeing. However, the goal is not to, look at this angle and I see it this way. It's really just like whatever angle you see it, just get to saving yourself so that, you don't have to go through these things that's being listed here. You know what I'm saying? In the Savior of humanity. And lastly, this last paragraph, it will be his works, Prophet Noble Drew Ali's works, that will make minds, because man is mind, so men will be minds, pertaining to every nation, of every nation, accept the truth that he brings, right? So it will be his works to make you minds of every nation accept the truth that he brings, all right? All minds, mothers and sons, right? It will be it will be through his teachings that the nations of the earth will understand the will of the master. It will be through him that peace, that quote, peace on earth and goodwill to all men, end quote, shall come. It will be through his work that humanity will be brought from the slime of life and placed on the solid rock of salvation. That's the cover to 101 right there.
Yeah.
Right? And I yield the floor. My brothers, any of my brothers, Brother Benjamin, Brother Terrell, Brother Kudjo, anybody want to make any comments on that there?
Prophet Drew Ali is the man. Drew Ali is the man.
Salute them all.
Yep. Can't beat that.
Flat out.
You want to bring the camera in, bro? You there yet? Brother Terrell? I was going to bring you in. I was going to spotlight you, Brother Terrell, if you're good or not. Yay, nay, maybe no. All right.
Here I am. You know me, I'm doing my thing. I'm traveling. Going my way.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right, if
I'm
you don't want
good
me to spotlight you, that's fine.
Huh?
That's fine.
Yeah, all right. Hey, but no, I want to add to that though. What you just said, how that ended. this on what Brother Kudjo was saying earlier, like when he was getting into the studies, it was you got to go up the street to get it. But now it's at the tip of your fingertips. So with just having that experience, you got the physical being, like Kudjo, he got his experience, and then you got the internet as also a tool. So use both while you can. That's what I will say.
Wow.
Right?
And in this meta aware world that we're in at this moment, Brother Kudjo, are you still accepting honorary membership for Moor Science Temple of America, subordinate temple number 5 at Canaan Land? And if so, could you just briefly tell the people how they could go about doing their honorary membership?
Yeah, for honorary membership, you just send an email to canaanlandguide@gmail.com, CANAANLANDGUIDE@gmail, and we'll send you the membership form. We'll send you the mailing location, whatever else that's needed. And again, we started doing that because there were so many people throughout the land that were already tuned in to Canaan Land Moors, because where they were at, temples were playing around. Temples were playing games. So we did that just so that Moors could say that, yeah, we're actually connected to Drew Ali and the Moorish movement through the temple, like he told Moors to do. So for honorary members, it's not a dues thing or whatever like that. You know, we're not going to be doing any paperwork for you. We're not giving you nationality cards or anything like that. It's just membership, so people could feel connected to what Drew Ali founded. You know, when they come into this information, because it was so hard for them to feel connected with the temples where they domiciled. But I yield.
Excellent. Brother Benjamin Bey, any final questions, comments, and/or suggestions for Brother Kudjo Adwo?
No, I'm just here like everyone else in the audience, whoever's looking, just learning. You know, it's not every time or every day you get to learn from Brother Kudjo. Not shining shoes, but just honoring like people who's not going to give you BS. You know, it's like put your big boy pants on. If you've been studying, you will know how to take what's being told to you. Like, if we were hooping and, you know, my crossover was this way, you know, like, hey, you know, take your time saying, hey, no, bounce that, like back and forth, get move on and go, you know, that type of deal. So just, you know, physically being here and just like, you know, instead of being on YouTube, just learning. But I'll just yell on that.
Islam.
I'm gonna say it like Brother Kudjo said it on a blog talk. I think it was like it was Sons of Allah, probably back in like 2015, 2016. He was like, you come into this information, you're in the deep end. You get immediately thrown in the deep end. Kick your legs, you'll be fine. Yo, I gotta admit though, that's one of those monumental quotes that shaped me, bro. I'm telling you, like, cause there's a swimming pool right next door to me, bro. So when you say stuff like that, it hits home, bro. Yeah. Like I told you, another one of those things, like when Anna-Ita was like, what is it about your energy that you keep attracting that type of stuff to you? It's like, boy, key stuff that it still stick with me. But go, what you about to say, bro?
No, I'm just gonna say that's a real life thing, because that's how I learned to swim or whatever. You know, they take you out in the boat, you know, in the islands, they take you out in the boat, and then they throw you off the boat, and you just gotta swim back to shore. That's just how you learn.
It's
they're right there, you know. It's not they leave you or whatever, you know what I mean. They're right there, you know. It's not anybody trying to kill you or anything. But
right. I mean, 7 years, Brother Kudjo, for me. I'm a 7-year-old, you know what I mean? So it's like I've seen the end of what it was and what you're talking about coming in 2008. And now I'm seeing the transition into this, even though, you know, I had the skill set where I shared with different platforms how to do the Zoom and all this other stuff, but I did not know it was going to turn into I'm not saying I'm responsible for stuff either, but you know, when somebody goes, hey, I heard you can do this. Yeah, I can do that. But then when you see what it turns into, you like, Hold up, man. That's not how this was supposed
That's
to
not,
be. That's not how this supposed to go.
that was off. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see what we can do, and then I'll just do what our brother Todd said. You know, when you do anything, you're going to be critiqued. So it's like that's why I always made sure. You know, it's not like I'm grown. You know, I'm a grown man. Like I know that, but at the same time, it's honor. So I'm going to ask those that I've seen before me. Hey, yo, if I do this, is this cool? I'm going to be looking wild for real because I ain't trying to look wild. I just want to do X, Y, and Z, like when we did the puppets. You know what I mean? With Astrology Street, Brother Kudjo. This, I swear, he was like, yo, that's dope, but make less of yourself be seen. So I gotta type like energy, like, because you can do it, you know, more. But yo, that's hot, yo. It's gonna be good for the children. But I got what he was saying because it was a protection that you was really speaking on, bro. You was really like on something protecting me because that's what I heard in the spirit in what you were saying for real. You feel me? So so even though when I was thinking like, all right, yo, I'm going to do this or whatever, but I figured like, yo, it could just be free. You know what I mean? Like, let's just do it for free, for real. Let's give them that. Even though I know I'm an astrologer that takes an exchange, even the website, 7heelstar.com, people can still go there and cast their chart for free and never get a reading with us for real. But we do what we've done on 7heelstar.com because for what, 4 years, Kudjo, before I started putting a number for Evolutionary Tuition on anything, I was just freely sharing my experience on Facebook. I wasn't even really on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, none of that.
Yeah.
Because it was just Facebook for me. You know what I'm saying? So now the people go, hey, well, if you throw these classes and then we'll transact for you. Like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? We put the classes up per they asked, but Brother Kudjo, again, was one of the first ones that told me, yo, we had a whole t-shirt business. Moors don't support nothing. Our people don't support nothing. Like when I saw that and kept that in mind, I was like, you know what? Well, let's make it universal then. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he said earlier in the video just now too. In this interview, you guys go back and look at it. He's like, man, you know, at the end of the day, you can do what you do, declare and proclaim your nationality, do what you do for Moors, but at the same time, you're going to have to take it like Prophet Noble Alim was saying, you know, I'm paraphrasing again, take it across East State Street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's where I'm looking at it on that.
It's gotta be uplifting fallen humanity, not uplifting Moors. It's uplifting fallen humanity. You know, because humanity's messed up right now because you know, we're messed up. We're the founders of civilization. So once we get right, everybody else will get right. If we don't get right, then you know, Ukraine's gonna get bombed by Russia. It's just what it is right now.
That's bananas, what man. It is. You know, because I originally, every time I hear Ukraine or Russia, I think of us. Because I know the history, just you know what I mean. So now when I look at stuff, I be like, man, how did it really get here, man? Like sometimes I be trying to like read stuff because books be like time machines to me sometimes.
But
you know what I mean?
How it got here is because we didn't acknowledge the prophet. So the world is messed right now because our people over here, North America, took the side of prophet. I don't know about that. Go over here and follow these guys over here.
Joke and unreal.
Yeah, the joke and unreal. Follow the joke and unreal, and this is where we're at now. The world is in turmoil because we decided not to go with the prophet's program. You know, but it is what it is.
I'm listening to you. I was just queuing that will of Allah.
We're here now.
I might let this play on now before we actually like close on out. Brother Kudjo, as always, man, since 2016 when we actually officially met near the Pittsburgh, like, bro, you just been solid, man. No matter what I've been through, you answer the phone. If I think I'm on something or I need to be G-checked, you provide it to make sure I'm not, you know, getting the big head or anything, bro. So for me, I just trust that the people, if they don't know you or they may think they, you know, have a different impression of you, I trust that we've done some more good on top of the good that you've already done that they just may not be privy to or aware of. You feel me?
Sure. So
at the end of the day, you know, I really appreciate you, brother, making the time, you know what I mean, and taking the time to come on, you know what I mean, on here, you know what I mean, on to our Impromptu Improv to really share what I know, because I usually just ask what are the so-called hard questions. However, in my mind, I knew exactly I wanted to do the kind of like Ask the Grand Sheik fashion inspired by Brother Amazite Bey, Brother Amazite Ramundus Bey.
Yeah.
Because that's how I remember the Ask the Grand Sheiks would go. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know,
Wow.
he would have you come on to the Amazite Bey show, as he called it, and they would do the Ask the Grand, y'all would do the Ask the Grand Sheik. Whereas actually, we would actually have whoever's viewing, but it was different because they all had the blog talk. So people could actually call in.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But, you know, for me, I just wanted to just let me think of different questions I get asked because, yeah, we sometimes we get the package sellers, you know, I've been hurt by this package seller, man. What can I do? You know what I'm saying? And then you'd be like, I don't know. Like for me, you know, I've been giving away the Prophet Noble Drew Ali University. You know what I'm saying? And you know, again, like I said, before I did these things, I asked, but I also give them, you know what I mean, to my elders. You included, Kudjo, and be like, hey, look, man, here this is, critique it, let me know what's going on. Yes, we sharing it or whatever, you know, publicly, but at the same time, since there's no one demanding that I have finance a certain way, it's easy for me now to go, all right, I know this Prophet Noble Drew Ali University because we was only taking donations for it anyway. Just give people immediate access to it because they can get the videos and get the law library and the astrology library off the break.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So now they got a real chance, though. So even though we do ask on our website or whatever in exchange for eleemosynary tuition for our services, notice it's an eleemosynary tuition. It's never a price. It's never a cost. It's never a fee. It's always eleemosynary tuition because we get that we're actually nearly usually taking half of what we're actually quote unquote professionally worth because we're Moorish Americans first and we actually know, you know what I mean, we're worthy of a higher. However, at the same time, y'all need to be given a chance. So, you know, guys, really take what you saw today in this presentation in Impromptu Improv, really link up with Brother Kudjo Adwo L, especially you guys that may be on the fence, caught up in seeing the different things in news all over the internet. Some people may be saying this, some people may be saying that. You guys are going to have to almost be like William Cooper and behold a pale horse. You're going to have to turn the TV off. And the TV right now is the rumors all over the internet or the, you know, confusion in the discourse. That's the new, you know, television. Like you guys are going to have to like shut off attaching your feelings and emotions to these images and these audios and then like go and talk to a grand, go and talk to Brother Kudjo, go and talk, you know what I mean, to these people or whomever. If it's me, come and call the phone. Yeah. All righty.
It's a big difference.
Don't be no thumb war gangster. Don't be no thumb warrior. Sure. Yes. Okay. Oh, that's brother Terrell asking, are we still on? I'm about to tell him yes, but we about to get off though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and another thing too, the Ask a Grand Sheik was also Brother Supreme L, pardon the interjection as well.
Yeah. Yes, the partner interjection with Supreme. Yes, hold on. Shout out to Supreme.
Shout out to
I can't believe I forgot that, bro. That's wow. That is wow. Yes. And you and Brother Mizraim LFL are every third Thursday on MHHS. Right. Blog Talk, Sons of Allah. Every Tuesday is Principles of Nationality. When usually Principles of Nationality in Action is Mother Ras Mariah Bey, Mother Anaida L, you, Brother Kudjo, and Ms. Raheem, LFL. That's every Tuesday. It's normally at 9 p.m. I remembered it. Yeah, 9 p.m. Moor's Heritage and History School, Eyes Wide Open on Wednesdays was 7:30, I remember.
And that's now Mother Ra's classes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mother Roz is conducting her astrology classes on Wednesdays.
Civics and astrology classes. Just go to the RV Bay site homepage, and all the info is there for that. Islam.
All righty. Then the Thursdays, every third Thursdays was like we said, Sons of Allah.
Sons of Allah. Yeah.
And every first Sunday it was Sister Standing on Law.
Yeah, First Sunday, I think it's first.
Was it
Sunday.
First Sunday?
I can't remember. First Sunday, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, you just go to moorishnews.wordpress.com and you can get all that info as far as when the classes are, when the broadcasts are, and everything else that you want to know.
All right. Yeah, absolutely, man. Because I know you guys are like, dang, Hasan in astrology, he promoting other astrology classes. Man, I'm like progressive. You don't like our rates. They might got the rates. You know what I mean? Like, look, man, we really about this mission for real. You know what I'm saying? So what I'll do is, huh?
You gotta have options. You gotta have options.
Yeah, it's fun. And like I got my start at RV Bay Publications. Like I said, it was no astrology classes then, you know what I mean? But I'm glad there is now, you know what I'm saying? So that means that we can help each other do more good. Need 10 to 16 secretaries to take names. That's how I really look at this. You know what I mean? So also at the end of the day, when after this broadcast, of course, Brother Kudjo, if you could, because it'll make it so much easier, even though I know I can compile it myself, because you guys know how I am with compiling information. But I would like to have all the links we discussed from willofalaw.com, Khalifa Media, everything as far as the blog talks that are concerned, as far as that, of course, RV Bay Publications I can put on there, but any and everything that you mentioned, because this is my foundation.
Oh, you want me email it to you?
Yeah, of course. You can email. Because if all I gotta do is just copy and paste it into the description, that'll be great for real. But this is so that people can actually get a clue of what my foundation is, and how Seven Hill Star got to be what it is, or whatever. And yes, even though it's not people giving me permission to do things, I did. And you got a brother here. You can always ask him. Check. I will always ask. Hey, yo, look, this is what I'm thinking. Would I be out of order if I boom, 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 boom? No, yo, if you this, and all right, cool. Just want to make sure and I go and do my thing. You know what I mean? So, guys, where did Brother Hasan get his start? RVBayPublications.com, Moor's Heritage and History School. All righty. And I still, to this day, make sure you guys go there, because that's where I got my start. And I just feel like at the end of the day that's what we're all supposed to be doing. Wherever you really learn from, it's like somebody asks, hey man, what elementary school you went to? Be honest and say what elementary school you went to. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, just be honest. All righty. So with that being said, any other questions, comments, and or suggestions?
No, just to bring honest.
Is your camera in, bro? Hold on, let me bring you in, bro.
Gratitude to you, Brother Kudjo. Islam.
Honors to you, Moors. Keep up the great work out there. You know we need it. You know our people need it.
Islam.
Man, thank you, hey, Brother Kudjo. Just thank you for always at the end of the day making sure that, you know what I mean? Hey, when I go, hey, bro, I'm about to do this. Is this good? You be like, yeah, yo, that's good. I want to make sure I ain't off, man, because you know how I am, man. My imagination, like, sit here and be creating all kind of stuff. However, though, and then, you know, it's so much other creative things we want to do. But we are, man. And Brother Kudjo, I will be sharing some other ideas, you know what I mean, with you, because we do have some things that we want to do musically, but specifically, I'm about to start doing things with Astrology Street or whatever. Yeah. So, and you already know anything that you said is free that can use that you've done is Iron Sheik. Because I want actually, we're all getting into video. We're all doing video editing in some way, shape, or form or whatever. So we know, though, we can't select on TikTok and Instagram songs made, you know, by you or Iron Sheik. So a lot of times we still have to use the stock songs that's there until we could actually, like, you know, maybe we could do something. Because, you know, it's only hard because them people want you to do certain things to be able to get the royalties or whatever. So they want you to fill out certain documentation to be able to select it from an Instagram or a TikTok selection as far as the song. So what that would leave for us to do is to make video where we would have to put the song within the video. You see what I'm saying? To be able to do things like that or whatever. But maybe something could, you know what I mean, you know, press where people could, you know what I mean, they want to be able to promote a picture or something on these social media platforms, and we can select Iron Sheik without it having to be a compromise of, because they usually want you to fill out all types of tax forms and things of that nature. Look, we're Moorish American.
It probably won't happen like that. Don't hold your breath.
I know, right? But you know how I think sometimes, bro. I sit here and think for a minute and be like, is that a loophole? Oh, hey, did y'all see that? Let me stop.
You said don't hold your breath.
Yeah, but Kudjo, you know how I be sometimes, Kudjo, like with that tax a percu, bro. I was like, I know people was thinking like, oh, what is Hasan doing? And like you and brother Yusuf was like, let's see if it works. Sending boxes of trash to each other. Let's see if it gets there. No BS, just to see. just to see, like make sure I'm not on no BS. And that's how it is, because that's what I learned from Brother Todd. You do things, then if you really sincere, then you'll let your peers, you'll let your brothers and your mothers, you know, critique you.
Straight.
You know what I mean?
Straight up.
All right, so no more questions, comments, and or suggestions. As I already knew, this was going to be a powerful, because you're the Taurus sun and I'm the Scorpio moon. So when me and Brother Kudjo link up, in my head, it's always a full moon ordeal all the time. No, I'm serious. It's serious, because he's going to shine and I'm gonna be like, all the waters are going to rise and everyone, because that's what full moons do. You know what I mean? Like straight up, because the water that's rising is Prophet Noble Drew Ali, because the fire is here.
It's love.
For real. All righty. So with that being said, Brother Kudjo Adwo L, thank you so much, brother, for being you and also fulfilling the office pertaining to Grand Sheik. All righty. For the Sporting Temple number 5 at Canaan Land, because at the end of the day, no matter what the titles or the names of whatever office it is, brother, you're being a brother. All right, you're really being a brother, and you're one out of many that told me to stay focused on the youth. Yeah. All righty, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong.
Islam.
All righty, Islam. So with that being said, Brother Terrell Tamari Bey, Brother Benjamin Bey, thank you also for your presence and your energies also in contributing to this interview with Brother Kudjo Adwo L, as well as shout out to Brother Sean Alim L, and shout out to Brother Corey Bey also. They're the other two that's a part of the astrology, Seven Hill Star Astrology firm. I know that they're here in spirit and they're going to be helping to promote this thing also. We're going to be doing a lot of screenshotting, screen recording. I know we are. You know what I'm saying? And just doing different posts or whatever. But other than that, Brother Kudjo, I'm pretty sure you already sent that email, so I can put all of you guys' information for Blog Talk, for Khalifa Media, RB Bay Publications, and Will of Allah. So it can be in the description of this video, so everybody can get their hands on it fairly and honestly, so they can see where our Seven Hill Star Foundation is exactly what you guys are going to see in the description, and what you're hearing in this video when you go back to look at it. All righty, because Kudjo Adwo L has always sincerely been a bro to me. Since our first phone conversation, even down to, you know what I mean, officiating that first little so-called matrimonial obligation. I've had a plethora of experiences, and I've learned a lot interacting with Brother Kudjo, actually, the most. Even though you guys see me assist other Moors, like Brother Taj or anyone else, Kudjo's been the one that the most kind of like, when it's like my back against the wall, he'd be like, why are you standing up against the wall? oh, I can move. Okay, my bad. I thought I had to stay here. My fault. In my mind, I was stuck against the wall, but I forgot I could just move. My bad. You get you to thinking. I'm telling you, Kudjo will just have a whole conversation asking you questions. There won't be one statement. I'm trying to tell you. And you'll be like, you know what? I'm glad I had this conversation with you. You're a good listener the whole time you ask questions, but he is listening. That's why he's asking the questions. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, all right, with that, beloved brothers, and whom I'm well pleased, thank you so much again. I yield the floor. Islam. Namaste. Peace and love, beloved.